kid from Philly comes to New York and goes into the best kitchens in town and then becomes a media celebrity on television and radio. Mike Colameco, A Life in Food. So let's talk about the listeners, because they're always fun for parties to talk about. You know, listeners can be fabulously engaging, and they can be kind of wacky.
You get them both. We've got call screeners. I've had a policy, because we can sort of set the tone from, I can set a tone from me down, and I've always had a policy. Jenna Strollo's the producer who also screens, and I mean, unless I don't want people bashing restaurants on the show. So if they want to be real critical, I try and keep them short, because I don't criticize restaurants. I'm kind of a cheerleader. That's how I see it. There's enough good stuff out there, and there's enough critics out there that I don't need to be one of those. So that's about the only thing we limit, and we take pretty much everybody. And you get funny calls, man. I mean, I get 3 calls a week. Why is my cheesecake cracking in the middle? And how do I clean my?
I've heard that almost every show.
People how do I clean my cast iron pan? Why don't we just put the answer on the internet or something?
Right.
And then you get funny guys. There's a regular that calls in, a guy named Roscoe, who calls me once a month. And he's cute. I met him. He came to one of our live events, and he just got married, so he's a newlywed now. And he calls me up and says, "Here's what's in my refrigerator. Make dinner for me." So Roscoe's he's the weekend call where he called him, "All right, Mikey," and I got to take a pencil and paper out. First couple times I'm like, "Who is this guy?" And then I thought, this is kind of fun. So it's really nice. And luckily, because I've done the PBS show, we've really been able to sort of triangulate the two platforms. So I'm getting a lot of callers who didn't know me from radio, and maybe weren't OR listeners, who know me from PBS, who are calling based on that experience. Now they get a chance to talk to me, because obviously you can't on TV. And obviously OR listeners who are now watching the PBS series.
Right.
But it's fun. But radio's, I mean, it is what it is. It's live and it's fun, and I don't have, people call up, I got to have the answer. There's no computers to go to. There's no think tank that gets me the answers to the questions. And truthfully, when I don't know the answer, I don't know the answer. I tell them.